So for our next session, we have Mr. Ajay Poddar, who will be talking about enabling safe technology for enhancing customer comfort. Mr. Poddar is the Managing Director at Syenergy Environics Ltd, an entrepreneur and innovator, B.Tech civil engineer from IIT Delhi. Over to you, Mr. Poddar.
Hi everybody, happy to be here with you. So we've been hearing since yesterday how we have to use more and more digital technology and how we have to be in the IoT of things. But like everything else, like we use seat belts in cars, we have to use technology safely as well. So we must all look at what is it that I've also been hearing and got a lot of insights about what are we offering to the customer in hotels and what are people looking for when they go to hotels. And I was asking the CEO of one of the most prominent hotel chains for which we've done work, that what do you sell? And the answer, and rightly so, is that we sell sleep. Because if the person who is living in your hotel, I'm not necessarily talking about a resort, but more like the city hotels where people come to work, they sleep, eat, they go and they work the whole day. So if you don't sleep well, you are not a satisfied customer. And neither the hotel management knows, nor do you know why are you unhappy or what is bothering you. But it creates, it's an intangible. And of course with COVID we've seen that you have what is invisible is the most dangerous. Because what is visible, if you see air pollution, you can see air pollution. If you see that the water is contaminated, you can probably see it. But there are many things which you can't see. And that's what we have to deal with. That's what we deal with. So what we are looking at is we have all been talking about now things are getting back to normal. So what do we, when we are virtually, many of you, most of us are making a fresh start. So when we are making a fresh start, what do we do? So this is what we are, all of us are now, wellness has become center stage. And we recognize that other than making money, keeping well, health is the biggest wealth. And if we can keep people healthy, when they are traveling or when they are working, that's the best gift that we can give them. So hospitality, for the hospitality sector, what does it mean? You have a lot of employees who are working there more than 8, 9, 10 hours every day. So their health is very, very important, because if they are healthy, if they are feeling good about themselves, they can serve the customer better. And when you have you do so many things for the customer health. You give them very nice pillows, you give them nice beds, you give them a clean room, you give them a comfortable room, but what else can we do to make their experience very memorable? So we have a choice that what do we want to give them? Do we want to give them just a choice of getaways, or do we want to give them perfectly protected getaways? Now, I heard earlier in the day the CEO of Oyo Room saying that when we talk about sanitization, we want to, the customer does not know whether the room has been sanitized or not. So it's seeing is believing, so you do the sanitization in front of them. But are there other things which we can tell the customer that look, it's not that we have to wait for a COVID to happen, but we can tell the customer that these are the other things and this is what we are doing for you to take care of that. So when we talk about enhanced wellness, a lot of hotels do a lot of things. You have spas, you have wellness programs, you have yoga, you have many things. But often it's a nice experience, but often the problem is it measurable? Can we tell the customer that, look, before you came here, or this is and after you came here, this is the way you can measure the improvement or sustenance of your health. So there is what is going to differentiate brands now, apart from the price points and apart from the comforts that we are giving them or the experience that we are giving them, is what do we do for wellness. And when you do enhanced protection, so there are certain kinds of protection which everybody is doing, but what more are we doing? So that is going to be the differentiator. And our company, Environics, or what we do is we make this possible for across industries, across offices, airports, everywhere, but more so for hotels because it is very people-centric. And ultimately at the heart of what we do is to try and make people healthier or protect their health. So when we're talking about digital technology, have you all heard of a certain term called Electro Smog? How many people have heard this word earlier? Nobody. So like you have smog in the air, so electro smog is because we have a whole lot of electrical gadgets now. So typically in a hotel room you have something like at least 15 smart devices. So your TV is a smart device, your AC is a smart device, you switch it on with the remote, the TV works with the remote, you've got a whole lot of electrical switches and wires all over, you've got maybe an iPad, you've got many things. So what do you do? And typically in a modern hotel which has say 500 rooms or 700 rooms, each room has a router so that you get better connectivity. And you have something like, if it's a 700 room hotel, you'd end up with having 700 boosters. So you are surrounded by electro smog. And that is something which interferes with our cellular communication. So if we take care of that, and when we say interfere with our cellular communication, that means your brain is sending signals to your hand or the rest of your body. But if it doesn't reach it, then you don't function optimally. So we have to, these are of course all the things that I've talked about which are there. And this is equally important, equally valid for the staff as well as the customer. So there are two things which many of you or most of you don't know about. There are negative emissions from the earth which are called geopathic stress. Geo is earth, pathic is what causes pathos or sadness, and stress of course is stress. So about 20% of the earth's surface is affected with this, which these run like lines, like grids, north, south, east, west, and they also fissures under the earth cause that, and also very concentrated mineral deposits. So there are ways of measuring this with instrumentation, and fortunately now we have ways of correcting this without moving beds or without moving people or equipment. So imagine that 20% of your beds which you have in each hotel are affected, and that is affecting the sleep quality, and you don't know about it, neither does the guest. And of course because of the IoT. So if we can take care of that, we can actually drastically change the customer experience. So some of the things that it causes are here: the fatigue, headaches, aches and pains, lower immunity. For the staff, you could find that some people who are working on stress lines, there may be more attrition. Sometimes people call it as unlucky seats, say that whoever sits here doesn't stay in the organization. Or there are people that it increases the absenteeism or it increases the stress. It can have an effect on interpersonal relationships. So can we take care of all this? Then the answer is yes. And I'm just giving you a small example of, these are the 4 things written on a cell phone. So I would advise you, for all those who are carrying, how many people amongst the men, how many of you carry your cell phones in your pockets? I should have asked how many don't carry. So the thing is that these are the warnings. So they say that you have to keep the phone at least 10 millimeters away. These are all written. If you open in any phone, RF safety and the manual, they don't give you a physical manual, but if you open RF safety, you'll find all these things written. Recommended talk time 6 minutes an hour. Do any of us follow that? Hand is also the body. So this is the problem. We cannot not use these devices or technology, but the thing is we have to use them safely. So Hotelivate has given you all some blue envelopes which are lying on your table. I hope all of you have picked it up and you can use some of these solutions. As I mentioned, the sleep quality becomes better. We have we've done almost about 70 hotels. We've implemented all these things in about 70 hotels and about 7,700 rooms. And we have data to show that the staff there who are permanent in nature, their health has improved and their productivity has improved. These are some of the brands, of course, which we've done work for, hotels as well as others. And this is basically what we are saying is, if you enhance the guest experience, you will enhance your business. Because ultimately, it also, while we talk about going to wellness, if you have a happier customer going back, the customer is likely to come back to you and be more loyal to you. So that is also the proposition. We have, since I think I have a couple of minutes more, we also have a personal wellness program where in about 10 minutes you can diagnose 71 parameters of the body without, non-intrusively, without taking any blood, without taking any x-rays. And you can actually give the score, and there are, again, non-intrusive, non-medicinal interventions, and you can have a wellness suite for each person where he can track his journey of health. And it's not that the person has come to a spa once and gone back, but you can be in touch with the customer and you can hold his hand and take him towards better health. So this is what I had to share with you. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.